Tuesday, April 21st, 2020, 7:30 p.m. online remote meeting. Hey guys, if you're not talking, kind of hit mute for yourself. There's a lot of noise. Thanks, guys. All right, so first we'll do a pledge of allegiance. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Let's start with a roll call. As you guys were sitting at the table from left to right, go ahead. Can we start with the roll call, starting with you, Josh?
Yeah. Mary Lopresti.
There you are. Josh? I can't hear you, Josh. You must be muted or something. Dave, go ahead.
Dave Sauter.
Pizza Brass.
Jeff Luff.
Pat Coacharella.
Dan Wall.
Was that Dan Wall?
Yes, sir.
And Brett Olds.
And I also heard Brett Aubrey. And I think John Kerwin just hopped on.
Yep.
John, are you present? And Josh, are you present?
Josh left. It looks like he's going to try to get back in.
Okay. John Kerwin, are you here?
All these people are muted.
Yeah, it looks like he's muted. John's on there, but he's muted.
Okay. John, when you come on, just make yourself present. Josh?
Josh's present. Sorry.
Okay. All right. So seating of alternates, I think John is here. So I think everybody is here. Public hearings. Public hearings continued. Okay. We have Z20-10, 403-407 Roosevelt Drive, New Haven Rowing Club. Owner, New Haven Rowing Club, Incorporated. Applicant, Stuart Lathers Associates, LLC. Special permit, non-commercial residential use. Okay. Does everybody remember this application? They wanted to build a storage site on one of their 3 pieces of property.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. We've tabled this last time because of the first remote session. Is the applicant here? Is the applicant or any representative from the New Haven Rowing Club on this meeting? Jess, if the applicant's not here, do we need to table this?
I mean, do we need to? It depends on if we're waiting for information for them. It's really up to you guys.
Okay. The only issue that I had was the 2 of the 3 of the lots. If you guys remember if you're looking at it from Route 34, there was 3 lots. One is a parking lot to the existing big building. The middle lot is the big building that's existing, and the third lot to the left is where they want to build their storage facility, which is only like 6 or 7 feet away from the property line. So I felt that those 2 properties at least need to be merged together to make 1 conforming lot instead of 3 non-conforming lots. And I believe a couple other people agreed with me on that, but is there anybody else that would like to say something about that?
Yeah, Jeff Pizza Brass.
Okay.
On those lots, if I'm not mistaken, that building was halfway on the other property, wasn't it? It wasn't just against the property line. The building was actually on the other side of the line.
if my memory serves me, the building was within 6 feet from the property line. It was way within the setback of that middle lot, if my memory serves me right. Pat, do you remember this?
Yes. Yes, and that's why, I was in favor of either merging the lots or moving the building to a conforming setback.
Okay. Either way is fine with me too. Anybody else?
I agree with Pat.
Okay. Is there anybody else at this meeting from the public that would like to talk about it? Is there anybody from the public that would like to talk about it? Try to unmute yourself and identify yourself by your name and address, please. And I'll try one more time. Anybody from the public? Try to unmute yourself and identify yourself by name and address. Okay. Hearing nothing. The applicant, are you here? The applicant, are you here from the New Haven Rowing Club? Okay. So since I hear nothing else from the board or the public or the applicant, do I have a motion to close this public hearing?
Pat Coachella, so moved.
Do I have a second?
Second. Brett Olber's second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Wait, guys,
Yeah.
excuse me. John, let me see what I can do. Hold on one second. Well, I'll put you on speakerphone here. Okay, John was trying to talk and I guess he can't. So he was trying to say something. Can you hear us, John?
I can hear you, yeah, but I'm muted.
I don't know.
Not on my end. Someone.
Jessica, see if he can call in on the number. Do you want me to give it to you?
The number? I
Yeah.
have the agenda right here.
Yeah, that would-
Tell him
All
to
right.
call in.
Okay. John? Do you want to call in on the number? I see you there. I just can't-
So
Hey, Jeff.
who seconded that motion?
Yeah, it's Brett. I want to, I guess,
Alright.
rescind my second.
Or just put a second for discussion?
Second for discussion, sorry.
No, it's no problem. That's fine. Once the motion's on the table, it's got to be there.
What motion did you guys make? I'm sorry. My phone.
It's a motion to close, but it's seconded by Brett Albrys with discussion. So John can have his input. John?
Yeah, I still can't hear him. So strange.
Or do you want to have him call?
He said he was going to try a few things.
All right, let's give this a second.
I'm not going anywhere.
Jeff, can you show me the number on your screen? So, oh wait, never mind. I have it right here.
Got it?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. It's right here, actually.
By the way, Jeff, you've got a really nice camera. Nice and clear.
Oh, do I? Yeah, I actually bought it. It was the only camera I could get, and I guess it's a laser, I guess, and so it was pretty pricey, but it was the only thing I could get.
That's good.
Everything's sold out. Watch, I can even turn on the light. Let's see here.
Yeah.
Do you see the light? Did I get brighter?
Yeah.
Of course.
See, now I'm getting, look at that. I got my own spotlight on it.
Can you guys hear me?
Oh,
I
yeah,
got
there we go.
Hi, John.
When you
There's a lot of feedback here.
John, you got to turn off your phone now.
All Hold on.
All right, can you
All right, can you still hear me?
You got to turn off one of the. Okay,
All right, this isn't working.
you got
Yeah.
it, John.
I can hear you.
Yeah,
Yes.
It is now?
yeah.
Yes.
All right, cool.
We could
We
see
always-
you too.
We always have room for special needs, John, for you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
All right, we have a second to close the motion with discussion, the public hearing.
I just wanted to say that I know that there was some public interest in this. And it involves, an area that I think has a large impact for recreational use in the town of Oxford. So I don't think that, it's good that we're trying to go forward with the meeting, but I don't think this is probably the application to go forward in this format, just because I think that, as you can tell from my experience, it was difficult to have input. We don't even know if the applicant has tried to come in with some input. There was some more information that we had wanted back. So I would ask to keep I would, argue to the commission to keep the public hearing open. We don't have to decide because we have some, an ability to not follow the timeframes because of the COVID. So I think we should keep this open until we can have a real public hearing that allows everybody to have access, because I think it's just too important an application to do it in this form. So that's my 2 cents.
So my question is Jessica, has anything been input from the public? Any kind of, I had rumors of petition like that.
yes.
Nothing filed.
Yep. Yes, we did get a petition
Okay.
from that it's quite a few signatures, over 100. Some of them do not live in Oxford, but we did get a petition, but it's not really, I don't know. I haven't sent it to Kevin or Peter Olson or anything like that. So,
And Jeff, just not that the petition has any legal weight, but I think what it shows is that the public wants some kind of input in this process. And, this is our second online meeting. So I don't think that a particular application like this one, where the public does want to get involved, that we should do it this way. I don't even think a vast majority of the town of Oxford knows that we're having these online meetings. So, for your run-of-the-mill application, I think this is fine. But for this particular one where the public wants to be involved, I think we should just keep the public hearing open until we can reconvene in the normal format. So,
Jeff, can I ask a question?
Coach Rella here.
Go ahead, Pat.
Just for, the purposes, at this point, based on John's recommendation, I'd like to withdraw my motion to close the public hearing.
Okay. Granted to withdraw the motion. All right. So I'd list a motion to table this.
Jeff, I have a question.
Go ahead, Brett.
So I understand John's point, and I understand it in many respects. But if we apply that logic to this motion, and there's a public interest in other motions, and those public aren't knowledgeable of these meetings going on, does that impact other items on our agenda that we have to keep open as well?
if I could respond, Jeff,
Go ahead, John.
the other hearings don't have a demonstrated request for input. We've got a petition with 100 signatures. So I think that alone demonstrates that this is not the run-of-the-mill application and that the public should be involved. So I don't think your argument is well taken for this particular application. There's 100 people that signed a petition. That shows that they want to have some input into it. So I don't think that this, and my point was, this is not the standard application where the public doesn't want to get involved, where we have no indication that the public wants to get involved. We have a direct indication that the public does want to get involved in this one. So I think it's different than the other applications.
Okay. My question is does anybody know what the petition's based on and why they have a problem with this application?
No, and that would be a good reason why we'd want to have the public come down and at least, I mean, it might all be specious. There might be reasons that we can't consider, but I think the democratic process requires us to at least hear them out. You know, there's no other application that I'm aware of that the public has given us, you know, some kind of input like a petition where we wouldn't be able to go forward in this particular forum. But you know, whatever the petition might be completely groundless, but I think it's important that we at least let those people have some input into the public, into the meeting process. So
I have no problem with tabling this because the applicant is not even here to represent or show a desire to move ahead either. So unless the applicant showed up between now and then, is the applicant here? Okay, hearing the applicant, I'm fine with it. How are we going to get the people who are opposed to this or this petition to join us in a meeting?
Well, at some point we'll be able to. I think they're going to reopen the public or the public hearing sooner than later, or maybe later than sooner. But at some point, when the governor allows us to have a public meeting, we'll just put it back on the agenda.
All right, I'm fine with that because we got an extension, Jessica, correct me if I'm wrong, for an additional 90 days on top of the 65.
Yes.
Okay. So do I have a motion to table this?
Do we table it or do we recess it?
We can recess it. Why don't we just put the date?
Yeah,
out?
that would. Yeah, why don't we recess it? And because we don't have a deadline that's coming up, so we'll just recess it and we'll keep it open.
That's fine with me. Do I have a motion to recess?
So moved.
Recess. I'll read that out. Wait, hang on one second. Recess Z-20-010. I think, was that Brett? Was that you?
Yes.
And then seconded was Pat.
Yeah, except I'd like a date that it's recessed to.
Okay.
Do you want to do the second meeting in May for now? Do you want to try that, or?
Let's go with that. Now we can always bring it up and recess it again.
Okay. To the second meeting in May. What's the date on that?
May 19th.
May 19th.
Okay.
And all in favor?
Aye.
And was there anybody who opposed that? Hearing none, that's unanimous. Okay. Public hearings, none. New public hearings, future public hearings, and open public hearings. Z-20-10. Okay, so this is the same thing which we just recessed.
Right.
Regular meeting business, amendments to the agenda. Do we have anything, Jessica or Pat?
No, not that I know of.
Nope.
Okay, audience of citizens. Is there anybody in this meeting from the audience or from the public would like to talk about something that is not on this agenda? And I'll do it again. Audience of citizens. Is there anybody in the audience or the public that would like to talk about something that is not on the agenda? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on. Correspondence, none. Old business, matters on which the public hearing was held, none. Old business, other matters, none. New business, schedule public hearing. Z-20-31, 10 Fox Hollow Road, AKA Lot 5, Fox Hollow Road, owner York Machinery South Incorporated, 160 Warren Avenue, Westbrook, Maine. Applicant, Skyward Bros Incorporated, 10 Fox Hollow Road. Someone's microphone is kind of freaking out, so if you're not talking, just mute yourself. Request a waive of the public hearing for new use heavy equipment sales. Steve, are you there?
I am here. I just need the floor for 1 minute. If you guys can go to page 22, scroll down to it. Oh, it's really small. Can you guys see it?
No.
How can I zoom into that?
Well, if you open it up and you have to increase your zoom, yeah, on that page.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Where's my
Go to view. Yeah. No, change it to a percentage actually. No, go to zoom 2.
Zoom to? Okay.
And then instead of fit width, scroll down and change it larger. And then click OK. And then scroll over. Or change your zoom out a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, Steve.
So where it says current site layout with the additional equipment was approved by zoning enforcement officer in wetlands. That is a total false statement. I would never do something like that on this application. I told the owner that it had to be a special exception. Now, so that's wrong. So if you go to page 28, which I think is another false document, sign-off sheet there. You have to go around and get signatures. And what happened was, this says Chadwick Burrows, 10 Fox Hollow. That's the writing of C1. And it says Pine Bridge Road. So I don't know if this was a cut and paste or was whited out, but I signed this for a location of a fuel storage tank in the exact same spot. So I don't know how this happened or what happened, but that's false to me. I even did ask Civil One, and he admitted that he wrote that in there. So I think it should be a special exception, but it's up to you guys. I would never approve something like this in my office, especially a company like this. So however you want to do it. It's just Chadwick Burrows, Pines Bridge Road, LLC. So, and you can see it's two different writings up there.
And
Yeah.
Which is the proper address? 5 Fox Hollow or 10 Fox Hollow?
It's
10
10
Fox Hollow.
Hi, good evening. This is C1 from Civil One.
Okay, C1.
Hi, sorry for interruption. I just want to mention that I'm here at the meeting and I can answer any questions you may have.
I don't have any. I'm just, like I said, I never approved this and stated in a letter. And then there's signatures here, or on that other document on 8 that you wrote on top after every. So my point is, C1, all due respect, if I had saw that, I would immediately said special exception and not have signed it.
Well, Steve, we had this conversation before, and,
Yeah, and I told you. And I
you
explained
mentioned
to you.
this documentary is false. I feel that's an insult. I don't agree with your statement.
What's that?
All right, C1. Let me get in here. So, did you guys come in for a permit to move an oil tank?
No, we did not came in for the
that
oil tank.
That wasn't C1, Mr. Chair. It was somebody previous to C1 getting on board.
From this company?
Yes. What happened was one of the presidents or one of the owners or someone came in and they had split partners. So this guy left everybody hanging because I told him what he needed: special exception, mailing, et cetera, and the guy quit the company and didn't talk to anybody. So the new guy came in. His name is Enos something, 10 Fox Hollow Road, for his permits. I'm like, I don't have any permits on file. So he hired Civil One to do the application. But I never approved this. I approved this for a gas tank, not for equipment, parking, and storage.
Hi, this is C1 from C1 again. May I clarify the process?
Go ahead, C1.
Hi, this is C1 for the record. C1 project manager from Civil One, 43 Sherman Hill Road in Woodbury, Connecticut. We are representing Chadwick on this project, and the process was last fall during September, I believe. Chadwick comes to Mr. Mike Ozowski, who previously owned this lot 5 Fox Hollow, and trying to purchase this lot. And their condition is they want some expansion on the site. So they want some additional equipment laydown area before they can close on this deal. And we came to the wetland enforcement officer, and we also came to the zoning enforcement officer, Steve, for additional equipment laydown area, which is last September, even before that, for a sign-off. And the page 28 was the sign-off for that equipment storage area. And
so you came to see me in June, it says here, but it's 10 Fox Hollow, not 5. I had the discussion with the owner and you. I said, listen, I'm not going to shut you down, but we need to address a special exception. But before that, I told the owner the exact same thing. So I don't recall seeing you, C1, with the original owner. He came in here with some other...
May I continue?
Jeff, if I can just interject.
Go ahead, John.
So what we have in front of us is an application to waive a public hearing. Okay. So the back and forth between Steve and she, I don't think Steve meant anything, that anyone should take any offense. I think he's just trying to get the timeline down. You read through the packet, there seems to have been some confusion. I think this was the application. I'm going to look through the regs and see if we could waive the public hearing. So I can report back on that, and at least we can get going on this and give it the attention that it requires. I did read through the regs, and unfortunately, due to the large volume of material, I think it's 13,000 plus, under state statute and our regulations, we cannot waive the public hearing. So they have to have a public hearing in order to have this use. The particular special exception that they have should be filed on the land records, and currently it is for a contractor's yard. That's a distinct and separate use from the use that they want, which is heavy equipment sales, storage, and rental under 9316. So they would have to get the application, or no, this isn't the excavating, but this is just a change. So my comment about the excavating is on the other application, but they have to get a special exception for this because it's a different use.
But where I'm trying to find out is selling of equipment. Are they bringing and moving a lot of material? I don't know if I'm confusing this with another application.
No, they're not.
No, I had the same confusion.
Okay.
But they have to. It's a separate use, and under state statute, they're supposed to be filing this on the land records. So under general statutes 8-3D, variance, special permit, special exceptions, they're required. It's a higher, basically, it's a highly regulated form of use. So our regulations, which are based on some of the statutes, require that they have the special exception. So they would have to have the public hearing. We could have a quick public hearing. I don't think, I don't think there's going to be a lot of problems, but the regulations require them to have a public hearing. We can't waive it. His request, what the application is a request to waive the public hearing. And my report back is there's no provision in the regulations to waive the public hearing.
So why does it need a public hearing though? It's a manufacturing, industrial lot, and they're doing a simple industrial application, which it's not a contractor's yard anymore.
Section 9.3 says, subject to securing a special exception as provided in Article 10 of these regulations, the following are permitted. So these are the permitted uses in the industrial lot that require a special exception. And if you go through 9.31 down to 9.316, heavy equipment sales, storage, and rental, which clearly this is, it requires a special exception. I mean, the regulations are just, they're black and white.
Okay, I didn't see that, so thank you for that clarification.
Yeah. And I was hoping that we would be able to waive it, but I got them. There's another provision with the excavating where you can waive the public hearing. And I had confused that. There's no provision to waive this public hearing.
All right. Siwan?
Yes.
So I think based off of what John's saying, I appreciate John clarifying that for me because I did not see that personally. But if John says it's there, I'm going to say it's there as well. So I think we do need to open a public hearing, and we could probably set a public hearing tonight. Jessica, is that possible? You're muted.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you can set the public hearing tonight. I still have to collect the fees on this too. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's a different application. Sorry.
Sigwan, does your applicant have any problem with going ahead with the public hearing and going through this process?
No, we don't have any problem with going through a public hearing. So I just want to clarify that we are trying to argue this is a less intensive operation compared to a contractor yard. And we understand the process doesn't allow waive a public hearing, and we certainly understand that.
Okay. So I appreciate you understanding because it's pretty clear what John read there. So Jessica, can we set a public hearing for this application the next meeting?
Yeah.
Hey, Sigwan, and also with everything with these public hearings, I need you to have everything sent over digitally to Jessica to simplify her life. We have to have everything on our drive.
Mr. Chair, may I pipe in? This is Steve. We'd have to set that public hearing for the third meeting in May. We have to do the public notice 10 to 15 days prior to, and then Civil One will have to do the mailing. So if we do it May 5th, that's not enough time to.
I thought it was 7 days, Jessica.
No, it is. Excuse me. The governor's executive order says that you don't have to publish it in a newspaper.
Oh, sorry, I didn't.
No, that's okay. And I also don't believe, and I would like to go back and look at this. That's why I'm a little iffy on the 5th, is because I think we just have to post something to the website saying that we're having a public hearing. And I know that the applicant has a different procedure that they have to follow regarding the sending out the notices and the signs and everything like that. So I'd prefer to have it the second meeting in May, but because I would like to look over the executive order and review it. But
does that present a problem for you, Sigmund?
No, that won't be a problem.
Okay. Go ahead, Jessica. Let's put it down for the 19th.
Okay.
And do I have a motion for that?
At Coachella, I'll make a motion to set a public hearing for Z-20-20 for May
19th.
19th,
19.
2020 at this location.
Second, do I have a second?
I'll second
Dave
it.
Stoddard, second.
At
All right.
7:30, I assume?
Yes.
All in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, I assume that's that's unanimous. Okay, thank you, Ziguan, for joining us.
And Jeff,
Go ahead,
this
John.
is John Kerwin. If I'll touch base with Jess, and if Siwan wants to contact me, I just have some ideas about how we can make sure, like in the notices, notice the public that it's going to be online. That way, we can go forward as quickly as possible.
Okay, I
Okay.
appreciate your help with that, John.
No problem.
Okay, so we're moving on to Z20-033, Lot 1R, Pheasant Run Road, owner applicant 589 Investments LLC, PO Box 506, Oxford, Connecticut. Public hearing waiver request, excavating, cubic yards, and material. This is a lot that they have on one of the new lots. Mark Arskowski has, and he's trying to make the lot ready for sale. And he has a very steep incline where he needs to bring in some material. I want to believe I don't know the exact number. Steve, do you have that number, or Jess?
13,233, I think.
Yeah, it's like almost 14,000 yards.
Okay. We do have the ability to waive this instead of having a public hearing on this, to simply get the site ready. This site, if everybody's familiar with the Pheasant Run site, it's almost done, and that's the last step that Mark needs to do to get this last lot sold. Does anybody have any problem with waiving the public hearing so Mark can get this lot ready for sale?
With the large volume of material, I would be concerned with waiving the public hearing under Article 14. But that's just my take on it. That was generally, by the way.
Okay. With Mark Oskowski, his work and his whole site and everything that's been done has been top notch. And I think he's only moving the material from his new site now, which is only, I think it's less than a mile. If my memory serves, Steve, is that correct?
He's taking this material up to Woodruff?
No, where is he getting this material?
He's taking it from another lot up by the power plant.
Yeah, which is less than a mile away, I guess.
Right.
And he said that he would go the way. How did Steve? What was his route that he mentioned?
Is Siwan still on the phone?
Yes, I'm here.
He may know the route he's going to take. If we don't have one, we could always certainly, set one.
So the material will be generated from Lot 10, Woodruffville Industrial Park, just south of the power plant. And the route will be through the new e-commerce drive and to North Giuliano Drive and Kristen Street, and then Holly Road. The entire trip is about 10 minutes, within 10 minutes, and it's completely within the industrial district.
There should be two applications then. One to remove, and then one to, that's major regrading at two different lots.
Lot 10 Woodruffville has already been approved by the commission.
Okay. Is there a site plan that's been filed for the lot that's receiving the 13,000 cubic yards?
Yes.
There is a conceptual site plan on our package, yes.
Because we need a site plan. So I would be more in favor of waiving the public hearing if we had our engineer look it over. I looked at it, and I understand the basics, but I think, and I trust Xiang very much. We've dealt with him in the past, but I think just, I'm not or I don't think anyone on the commission is able to review these site plans like our town engineer would. And I don't think we've had any input from the town engineer on it. Is that correct, Jess?
Yeah, I did send it to Jim Galligan because of the amount of fill, and we haven't gotten a response yet. So if you want to waive the public hearing, as a commission, okay, and then maybe we can make sure that Jim has the letter for the next meeting.
Yeah, why don't we table this until we get the response from Jim?
Yeah, I think I'd be in favor of that. And that way, at least we know that somebody that's able to read these site plans and represents the commission is okay with it. And then I don't think we need the public hearing at that point.
Okay. So I agree with John. I think, I thought we had Jim Galligan's input on this.
No.
Steve Wan, so we're going to table this until we get our town engineer to take a gander at it and make sure he doesn't see any big issues. So make sure Jim gets everything that you want him to see to have him get it ready for the next meeting.
Sure, will do. Thank you.
Do I get a motion to table this?
I move to table this application until May 5th, 2020.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I'll second. John
Lisa
Kerwin.
Brash.
All right. John Kerwin will second that one. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, it will be unanimous. Z-20-034, 312 Chestnut Tree Hill Road, Estate Serge Mahilly, Senior, applicant Matthew Haley, Booth Hill Road, Trumbull, Connecticut. Go ahead, Jeff.
I didn't get I emailed him earlier in the week, or even the end of last week. Yeah, last week. And I asked him to send me the plans so I could put them up on the website. And he got back to me this afternoon. And I told him that I needed 24 hours. The stuff has to be on the website. So, I mean, it is a public hearing. That's all we're doing is setting a public hearing because it's a re-subdivision. So it is up to the commission if they want to set the public hearing or if they want to wait until the plans are up on the website.
I have no problem setting a public hearing, but if we don't have the information that we need by the next meeting, can we pull it off?
Yeah.
Okay. So can we have a motion to set this to a public hearing on May 19th?
I'll move.
All right, John. Do I have a second?
Second.
Dave Stoddard, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries unanimously. 7:30 at this location. Okay, Z-20-034, 312 Chestnut Tree Hill Road, owner, Estate Serge Mahilly, Senior, applicant Mahilly, Booth Road. Did we just do this one?
You just done that one.
I'm sorry, I'm reading it twice. Z-20-035A, 248 Oxford Road, owner TJ Realty, 3333 Main Street, Stratford, applicant Borsness, Oxford, Ox Company, special exception, Article 7, Section 7.3.16, sale of alcoholic beverages. I know Karen Fisher's here, and she's, I believe, representing them. Is that correct, Karen?
I believe Karen left the meeting.
Oh, she did? Yeah, I saw her.
Wonder why she would leave. All right, let's take a quick look at this agenda items. What page is this, Jessica? I'm sorry. Do I have it? It's right here. Do they want to serve alcohol now? I thought they were serving alcohol and it was just a...
That's what they had told us.
It was supposed to be
a,
bring your own bottle, like,
Pete, what was that? I'm sorry.
I said before it was just bring your own bottle because it was a special, club supposedly. And they assured us they weren't gonna sell it there, if I'm not mistaken. And now they're applying for a liquor license.
Yeah, well, Pat Cocherella here. Karen's back, by the way.
I see it.
First they came in and they said there wasn't going to be any alcohol. Then they came and said it was going to be a BYOB. And now they're coming in to sell alcohol. It's almost like they're piecemealing an application to try and slide things through.
the sale of alcohol or the bar is going to be a private entity, and it's not connected by a door to the axe throwing place, I don't think.
That's not what the paperwork says.
Attorney
Maybe
Karen
ask
Fisher. I'm present for Oxford Axe Throwing. If I could add any input to this.
Go
Can I
ahead.
just ask who spoke before you, Karen? Somebody interjected. Sounded like Steve, maybe?
It was
Yes,
Steve.
yes.
All right. Just for the record.
No
Go ahead.
problem. So just to clarify, when we first came in, it was always a BYOB for the Oxford Axe Throwing. This is a separate company. It's going to be called the Boar's Nest. And our proposal does say that there is a door that connects the two, but they are two separate. We've realized that we can control the alcohol consumption better if they're the ones providing it. They've already had to kick some people out for hard alcohol. And so they have been regularly monitoring it. And this will cause them to be able to monitor it better because they can structure who's actually drinking. But it is two different companies. One is going to be the Oxford Axe Throwing and one is the Boar's Nest.
Now, is the Boar's Nest the space next to it at the end of the building?
Yes, it's the space to the right at the end, and it will also encompass the outdoor patio area, which they're going to completely fence in.
Okay, so this does not have anything to do with the Axe Throwing company. This is a different application altogether.
Well, they both fall under the same LLC, but there's a DBA for the Axe Throwing on the land record, so I don't want to mislead anyone. And there's a DBA for the Boar's Nest.
Okay, doing business as what DBA stands for, if people don't know.
And it's a members only bar that the members are from the Oxford Axe Throwing?
Correct. This is not going to be a bar that's open to the public. So the only people that are going to be able to access it are people who have become members of the Oxford Axe Throwing. And if you remember, all of those members signed specific waivers about rules that they have to follow. Also, they're not going to allow anyone from the Axe Throwing to purchase alcohol on their own at the bar and then carry it across to the Axe Throwing. That's not allowed. They already plan to have someone at the door that's between the two businesses. That door will be closed and guarded by an employee to make sure that it's only the wait staff that is passing through that door in order to bring any alcohol into the Oxford Axe Throwing.
Doesn't this have to be by way of a special exception?
It is. So that's what we've done as a special exception. And my understanding was tonight we would set our public hearing and we were going to request for May 19th for the public hearing.
Okay. So if we're going to set up they've already put in an application for a special exception, then we are going to have to set a public hearing.
Yes.
This shouldn't even be up for discussion at this point. Correct, Karen?
That's exactly what we were looking for tonight. Yes, we
Okay.
filed the application and want a public hearing set.
Okay. So I would like to see if there's a motion to set a public hearing for May 19th.
So moved. John Kerwin.
Do I have a second for the public hearing?
I'll
Do I have a
second.
second?
Dan will, Dan will second.
Okay. Is everybody any opposed? So all in favor then?
Aye.
Aye.
So hearing no opposed, meeting will be set for May 19th at 7:30.
And Jeff, just I'll make the same offer, just to assist with getting the notices out to make sure that we notice correctly the
Okay.
online forum. So,
Okay. Thanks again, John. Jess, that'll help you out too, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Karen, are you still there? Jessica, can you reach out to Karen and let her know
Yes,
that?
I'm still here.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. I caught you last day. Since we have to do this on the virtual world, everything's got to be in digital format for us, please.
That's fine, no problem.
I appreciate all your help on that, and we'll see you on the 19th.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good night.
You too.
Good night.
Good night.
All right. New business, other, none. Zoning enforcement. 317 Rig Street vehicles, email from owner. Okay, so this is Matt Zalumis. Now, Matt Zalumis's main property is on 315 Rig Street. And what he's doing is he's the lot next to his lot where he has this application to put his vehicles is actually at 315. He's parking it on a lot at 317, which is where Mark Oskowski sold him the lot when he cleared the lot and took it down about 6 feet. Does everybody remember?
Mhm.
So he's been parking there for about a year and a half now. And I've been talking to Steve about it periodically. And Steve talks to him. He's, oh, no, it's just temporary. It's just temporary. And as you can see by the pictures, can you guys see the pictures?
Yes.
yep.
He's parking. He's basically his business. When I was on the board with Bill Johnson, I think was the chairman at that point, Matt Zalumis came in, and at that point I had been pretty fresh out of the car business, and he applied to buy these vehicles and to resell them. And at that point we asked how many vehicles that he wanted, and in my memory we said, and I made it clear because I didn't want to use car lot there because there's very few parking there anyways, that it was going to be 10. So somehow or another on the application, from what Steve told me, it's 100. But what he does, if my memory serves, is he buys these vehicles from companies that are no longer needing them or leasing them and tries to resell them on the market. As you can see, there's quite a few vehicles, and he wrote a letter. Steve, can you read that to us?
I don't have, I'm trying to pull it up here. Hang on.
Basically, he's blaming the coronavirus. He's saying, well, the business is closing down, and I got to park all the vehicles here. This has been going on well over a year now. And I've been on it with Steve. Steve took the initiative, or Steve and I took the initiative to, based on my request, is to find out how many vehicles are registered. As you can see, most of the vehicles have Connecticut plates on them, but there is only 3 or 5 vehicles that are actually registered in the town. And that does not prove that these vehicles are registered. These could be expired registrations, which is, I am guessing. These vehicles come in on flatbeds because I see them go by my building.
Mr. Chair, I have the letter here. It just says, utilizing the lot for many trucks, we had to pull out of the field mainly due to COVID-19. We think this will be a temporary lot and hopefully we'll be back up running soon. Most of these trucks are in the boroughs of New York and Hudson Valley, as the area's in lockdown. Basically what it says.
Okay, I don't see any vehicles in there with New York plates.
I did see one, but a lot of them have Connecticut plates on them, and they're not registered here, so he must have another company somewhere or another office somewhere.
Okay.
I pulled up the registration he had from the assessor's office. I thought I may have emailed you some, Jeff, but if he's got 6 vehicles registered at that address, that's a lot.
All right, so here's the document that it's sideways. I'm sorry, guys. But these are them, and if you can actually see them, and Steve pointed them out, there's a Land Rover, there's a Mercedes. These are his personal vehicles, and there's only a couple other, obviously, work vehicles.
Question.
Go ahead, Pete.
Does he have a dealer's license for this?
He has a dealer's license, Pete, for a certain amount of cars. I'm gonna look into it tomorrow. He did get a dealer's license years ago, but that was I want to say, to repair cars and sell a few, but that's it. And even if he did have a dealer's license, that business is still there with all those cars. It'd be he expanded the use.
Right.
Now,
Well, he
Coach,
also, Pat, hold on one second. I want to make sure we all understand. He's parking on 317. His permit for his business is 315.
Right.
This lot has no permit for anything.
What, and this is this is John Kerwin. This is an industrial zone that we're talking about?
Correct.
So,
bordering the residential zone.
but it's still an industrial zone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's parking on this lot without any kind of permission or anything.
Who owns the lot, do you know?
He does. He bought it from Mark Oskowski.
Okay.
The only thing that he could closely do is a public parking lot, which this is not. I don't think our regs allow you to store, to have a vehicle storage.
And I agree, because that would be under a contractor's yard.
Yes.
That would be a contractor.
Yeah, and this is not. This is just. He looks like he's wholesaling or he's renting, or leasing vehicles to. Some of them are Optima. Can you go back to that picture?
Yep. Sorry. This picture?
Yeah, the one before that. Those yellow and orange.
So there's a bunch of different companies. There's a pink one, purple one. Yeah, Optimum and Atlantic.
So
He's buying them from everywhere.
Yeah, it looks like he's probably leasing them because they're registered. So he's leasing them to the companies. But you can't. This isn't a valid use in our industrial zone.
Right.
There's nothing in the regs that provide for, a parking lot for leased vehicles.
Pizza bread.
Excuse me, Coach Rowan.
Go ahead, Pat.
For what Jeff said earlier, I was on the commission when his original approval came through, and it was for only 10 vehicles. That paperwork was altered at some point.
Yeah, you're right, Pat. I want to. I saw it. It said 100, but I got to look.
And if it doesn't say that, I want to go and make sure that it's that it is on the record, because I was pretty sure it was only 10. I was on the commission.
So we can go back to the actual recordings of the meetings if we have to.
Correct.
And actually, it should be in the conditions of approval. Should be the 10 vehicles.
Yeah, it would be in the conditions.
I'm in tomorrow. I'll look for the file.
So, considering that these vehicles obviously are old and beaten up, they could be dripping and contaminating the environment. There's no application. His business is on 315 Rigg Street, not on 317. He needs to move those vehicles onto his own lot. And I think my opinion is he's been burning this, taking advantage of us for a while, over a year now, because it's right next to the golf course. If you guys want to drive by it, I would like to put a cease and desist on this, and get him into check immediately.
The other where was I going with this? Yeah. Oh, if it might be worthwhile to have the wetlands enforcement officer check the lot to see if there has been soil contamination.
He did.
And
I think he's sending a notice to the trucking company there. I don't recall their name, but they've got some stuff, some oil and stuff close to the wetland within the buffer. I can't recall the name of the company, but there's a couple dumpsters overflowing and junk, and I think Mike's right on top of that.
Okay. Does anybody else agree with me that we should put a cease and desist on this one?
Well, I agree.
with you. John Kerwin, I agree.
Pizza
Dave
breath,
Sutter.
I agree.
Pat Cotrell, I agree.
Brett Olbrys, I agree.
Dave?
Dave Sauter, absolutely agree.
Josh?
I also agree.
Okay. All right, Steve, the board has spoken. Put a cease and desist on him immediately. Tell him to get the vehicles over on his lot.
Okay.
And he's got to get it corrected in 30 days or we'll go to the next step.
Okay.
Okay. And let him know that the board did it unanimously.
Sure.
Okay.
He
Yep, no
has
worries.
also has to file proper paperwork on that, doesn't he? Not just to move the trucks.
Well, if the vehicle, his permit is allowed to have the vehicles on his 315 Rig Street, he needs to get the vehicles over there.
Okay.
And then, Steve, for the record, I would like you to pull up that meeting and find out what his license is for and how many vehicles he's allowed there. I don't want to use the application because someone could have just added a 0 to it, which is what I think maybe have happened. And if I'm incorrect, but if my memory serves, I'm pretty sure it was 10. Because when I was there, that lot at 315 Rig Street is already jam packed. There's no parking there.
Yeah, he's going to have to. It's going to be a battle, but we'll file the necessary paperwork.
It's not going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle for him to figure out what to do. It's not going to be a battle for us.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, that's his problem. He got himself into this situation. He can get himself out of it. Okay. The other question is, what about Alan Goldstone's property?
He still has cars. I can send him a fine if you guys agree to do it.
Yeah.
Who was looking at that, Condon or Olson?
I'm sorry?
Who was putting the paperwork together legally? Was that
I got 2 notices out to him, and now he gets a fine from the second notice. I've got the file here. I can send him the fine, then hand it to either Olson or Condon. I would prefer to use Kevin. He's easy to get in touch with, but that's your call.
You broke up there. Who? What attorney?
Prefer to use Kevin because he's easy to get in touch with. I see him a lot. Up to you guys.
Well, what I think you should do is send out another letter to Alan, letting him know that we're about ready to implement starting the fines. Please contact us, let us know what you're doing. And, obviously, I'm thinking we should give him a little bit of grace, especially with this COVID thing. But this is going on way too long.
Yeah, I'd say just go to we've been saying, let's just give him a little, and this is John Kerwin, by the way. We've been saying for I think since last summer, if memory serves me correctly, or at least the fall, just give him a little more time. I think he's worn out his welcome. I'd say just fine him.
Hey, Jeff.
Yeah, go ahead, Brett.
Brett Olbrys here. I agree with John. I mean, I think you have to apply the standard across the board. And, you can't simply just keep continuing and continuing and continuing. I mean, you've given them so many chances. I agree with John. I'm in favor of just moving directly to fines.
Okay. Anybody else opposed to that option? Hearing none. Steve, go ahead. Let them know that the board voted on it unanimously.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Also, I got 2 more really quick things. Jeff, I think I emailed you Ernie Battis, the donut shop down on 67 where all the fill was taken out. I got a call from the owner, one of the D'Ambrosios, and they want to go ahead and install Dunkin' Donuts with a drive-through. Now, we have a special exception on file that it was approved for a donut shop with a drive-through. I think if they keep it on the same footprint, they're good to go. But I need some opinions on this. Their special exception was granted in 2014. And,
okay.
And Jeff, I just emailed you that again. I don't know if it's up on the drive or.
It's right on your window.
Know.
Can you see the screen or no?
Yeah, I can see that.
All right, so I'm showing it now. All right, guys, to refresh your memory, this was 35 Oxford Road where Joe Guerrera Construction cleared the lot, blasted crushed rock to get it out, get it open. This was a lot that was set up for Heavenly Donuts to have a drive-through. In our
Right.
regulations, it says absolutely no drive-through, so we made a special exception for him, and it was approved for Heavenly Donuts. Now they want to come in and do a Dunkin' Donuts. Is Dunkin' Donuts, is that right, Steve?
Yes, with a drive-through. So, I haven't gotten to detail with the applicant yet, but I think, and Pat can pipe in, if we keep it on the same footprint, because of the special exception on file, it's the exact same use.
Pat Cocherella here. It was approved originally for a building with a drive-through. Then Heavenly Donuts came in with a site plan, et cetera, which we approved. Then Heavenly Donuts came in again and modified their site plan.
Right.
As long as it's the modified site plan, I don't see a problem, because whatever name is on the building, whether it's Dunkin' Donuts, Heavenly Donuts, or God only knows donuts, it really doesn't matter as long as they follow. Because when he modified the site plan, he went from a 2-story building to a 1-story building, and that's what I want to go to, that 1-story building. So the modified site plan is what should rule in this case.
So I would tell him he could do it, and he has to keep it on the exact same footprint. If he changes that, he'll have to come back in.
I wouldn't be so quick to say that.
Yeah, I agree with John.
Kerwin. And
Okay.
First off,
Go ahead, John.
As I recall, and I think we need to check the records, I thought they withdrew after the deal fell through. Once they pulled out, I thought they withdrew the application. But regardless, his site plan expired because it was supposed to be, all the work was supposed to be completed by July 19th, 2019, and he had 5 years to do it. So they have to start from scratch. Pardon me?
Go ahead, Pat.
The excavation was part of the work that needed to be done. So they didn't complete it, but they started it.
But
it was supposed to be completed.
The site plan, but the special exception is separate than the site plan. That's why the commission is never supposed to approve site plans and special exceptions at the same time. They are not, they're connected, but they're not. The site plan is 5 years. The special exception runs with the land. It's for a restaurant with a drive-through. If they're doing a restaurant with a drive-through, they have to come in with a new site plan. But they don't need to come in for a special exception.
That's my point. I'm sorry, I didn't make myself clear. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Did I make myself clear? Because I didn't think I sounded very clear.
No, you were fine. But that's my point. Is they have to come in with a new site plan, but the special exception at this point is for the building with the drive-through single story.
Okay, that makes sense.
The single story part is what I'm concerned with.
Yeah, so they've got the approved use, but they still need to come in with their own site plan and all their plans for the use.
Yeah.
Right, so we'll have to get renderings and a new site plan. That's fine.
Yeah, have them come in with the new site plan. I wasn't sure, guys, if we had to start all over again with a special exception on this, because if Popeye's Chicken wanted to pop in there with a drive-through, you're telling me we could do the same thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What specifically does the special exception say?
A
That's
restaurant
something
with
that
a
we should
drive-through.
probably review.
We pull the original.
Because that's going to limit their site plan.
Commercial development, grading, drainage. Right here, Bubba's architect rendering drawn by CK Associates. All right, so Steve, tell them to come in with an application and let them know. Actually, give them a copy of this.
Yeah. Okay. Pat Cocherella here, and for reference, though, we should still have those original site plans on file as a reference.
I have them right here. I have them right here on my desk.
Yeah.
So they've got to come in, Pat, on the same foundation, or no? Just with a
No,
Dunkin' Donuts.
I wouldn't lead them, Steve. I would
I'm sorry,
do their application based off of this.
Jeff. You broke up. Say that again.
I wouldn't lead them. I would just say, from what I understand, you can come on in with an application and you can apply based on these conditions that we have already allowed. But I wouldn't say same site plan or anything. I just leave it to them to decide that. Let them do
No, I
their
meant
own.
the same size foundation.
Yeah, Steve, I think Jeff's point is I don't think you can give them that kind of advice.
Okay.
Yeah, just give them the information, say, come on in with your application, let them come in.
Okay.
Okay, so that's fine. Steve, is there anything else? There was one other thing you said?
I had a guy who wants to come in and down south of Oxford Paint and Hardware, those two Cape houses next to the allergy doctor. He wants to tear those down and put in like a small scale Cumberland Farms with a gas station. So he sent me an email via special exception. It's up to you guys what you want to do. I would probably tell him to come in and start the process. I can't give him an answer, over the phone without the application.
Okay, do you guys know where I'm talking about this here?
Doesn't that property sit on the aquifer?
Yeah, it's right on the river.
You know what? Yeah, I think it does. So he'd have to get DEP approval first, which I doubt they would do.
Yeah, I guess you can't add anything to the aquifer. The gas station and the oil company that are already existing on the aquifer have to file paperwork every year.
Right.
Isn't that the bird sanctuary too back there?
This is the property. Can you guys see the picture here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think this is the property in which we're talking about. These two houses.
Have the address on that by chance, Jeff?
101 and 103.
Yeah, he's in the aquifer, so that's fine. Okay, that's easy. I'll tell him that. I'll tell him if he wants to proceed, the first place you have to go is Department of DEP.
DEP, yep.
And he also asked if he can build some type of Trowbridge high-rise condos.
There?
This is.
I mean,
Steve,
listen, I've sent out a few cease and desists. I've had problems there with the tenants. So anything would be an improvement. I'll try and talk them into, I don't know, maybe something different.
well, and Steve, this is Jeff. Don't lead him. Okay, let the applicant come in with what they want. I don't want you saying Cumberland Farms or something like that, and we decline him. Okay, so our regulations, make sure he knows where our regulations are, and based on the regulation, this is commercial zone, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and he has a river behind him. Let him do his own due diligence and decide what he wants to come in for.
I'm not gonna lead him. I'm just gonna, I'll help him out in there.
Yeah, well, if he comes in and says, "Hey, I'm thinking of Cumberland Farms," saying, "Okay, let's look at the regulations. These are the things that we're going to need to do." But that's what I'm referring to. Is don't give him like a car wash or something, or anything like that, or condos or apartments. That's
Can't put a car wash on the aquifer either.
Yeah, it's a small piece of property,
Yeah, an apartment building or townhouses. Yeah, I don't think that's going to fit there either. Another Dollar General might work.
Yeah, maybe another dollar store.
Or another Dunkin' Donuts. Why don't we have three of them? What the hell?
New pizza place.
Yes, or liquor store. We need one more of them.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
Under the state statute, we're allowed 5 liquor stores anyway, so.
Are we? I think we have more than that, don't we?
No.
We got Dave, we got Dickin, we got Market 32.
That's it.
We got 3.
We only have 3. We actually could use in 2 more.
All right. I'll start one up tomorrow.
There you go.
Okay.
You gotta be a retired cop to own a liquor store.
Anything else, Steve?
Hey, I'll do it. I'll volunteer.
There you go, Dan. Steve, you're all set?
Yes, I'm good.
Okay.
Like town hall's opening Monday, for employees, but no public.
No kidding.
Yes, I've been, Jess and I have been coordinating and working, so, but, no, what it is. Dan Wall, I was sorry to hear about your brother, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Sorry about
Yeah.
that.
Thank you.
I just heard.
Steve, are you guys both ready to start on that, what, the 27th?
Yeah,
Yes.
we're trying.
All right.
I'm trying.
I ordered you a 6-foot bubble, Jess.
Oh, awesome. Can you fit my kid in it too?
And then I got one for Steve, and you guys are going to run across the field and bounce off each other.
Oh, that'd be fun.
That would be great. All right, minutes. We have Jessica got us the minutes. Thank you, Jess. Minutes, I need a motion to approve 3-3-20 regular meeting minutes.
I'll move. So move.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Jeff, Brett told me that I forgot to attach the minutes. The second set.
Oh, the second set?
Yeah, I guess. I don't think I attached them.
I didn't
The
see them in my
email.
email.
I don't think I attached them.
All right, so Jessica, resend them out.
Okay.
But I did read them. So Brett, if you want to abstain from that motion, that's fine.
Okay.
So have Brett abstain from that just to, because he hasn't had a chance to look at them. The 4-7-20, those came out late today, Jess, right?
Yeah, those are the ones.
I don't mind making a motion. I did glance at them and I didn't see any major problems with them. They looked pretty thorough. Everybody else get a chance to look at them? Are we good, or we can make a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion. I was able to look at him.
Okay.
John Kerwin.
Yep.
Um,
Zabras was second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any opposed?
I abstain.
Abstain. Motion carries.
Okay.
Invoices, none. Other business, bond release request Z-07061 and Z-08040 are Pilots Mall LLC Technology Park, Airport Access Road and Donovan Road, referred to Kevin Condon for review. It was tabled. Did we get anything back?
No, I'm thinking once we get into the office, we'll have to get in touch with Kevin, and the file is there. I don't have anything here at home with me on that one.
Okay. Sign letter, discussion with possible action. Okay, now I have this. So Dave Sauter finished this up. This is the letter for the signs.
Actually, that's not the letter.
It's not?
No, I redid the opening. I thought you had it in the
I thought I had it in the packet.
packet.
Move to table.
Oh, no.
No, I don't want this gone.
Second.
We'll do it next time.
Okay. All right, we'll table this until the next one.
Ah!
All right, so Dave, it's done. It's just Jessica, you sent the wrong one? Or put
No,
out?
it's isn't it at the bottom of the packet?
It was the very last letter. Very last page of the packet.
Okay, let's go to the packet.
Page 58 or something like that. After the pictures.
Last page, 58.
There it is.
All right.
All I did with this letter is I retooled the beginning. It originally said Happy New Year, and obviously we're way past that. So I wanted to just kind of set it up for something that we could send out if everything starts returning somewhat normal, send it out for the beginning of June. Other than that, I incorporated the feedback that Mary had put in. She did a great job, and I really appreciate it. Josh gave me some good feedback as well, too. So I think this is in a pretty good place. I kind of just reformat a little bit, changed the greeting and the opening, and I think we're okay. So I'd rather have it kind of say, okay, we're done. And, the only thing we would have to decide is what date we want to send it out, depending upon when things start reopening up.
Okay. The only suggestion I have is this word gentle. I understand why you're doing that, but gentle, just put in, because it's saying gently, like they have power or something. When I read that, like they have some kind of this unique power to tell us not to do anything. So I'd like you to I would like to reach out to you with some reminders regarding temporary signage.
That's fine.
So that's the only thing I would like to strike. Everything else was fantastic.
I have a little something here, if you don't mind. At your on your salutation to all committee groups, this really is going to go out not only to the committees but to boards, and it's going to go out to boards, it's going to go out to commissions, it's going to go out to service organizations and so on. Things like the Oxford PTO and the Board of Ed and so on, which are not committees.
What about all?
If I object, if you could say to all town groups and organizations.
Yeah, that would be good. Thank you.
So to all town groups and organizations.
Yes.
Got it. Done.
Okay. Excellent, Dave. Thank you for the job.
Thank you.
Too.
Well, so we're all in agreement. I make those changes and this is done and we can get this off the agenda?
Yep, I'll sign it, and then I appreciate it. The only other thing, one other thing is, should we put something at the bottom? This was done by the whole board of planning and zoning.
No, this is all you.
I know. Okay. I appreciate all you guys' heavy lifting on this. I started this, then it went to Pete, and then it went to everybody. So I'm glad it's done. So thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Everybody jumped in.
Yeah.
Yep, everybody helped. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, so questions and items deemed necessary for discussion at the next meeting can be emailed to planning and zoning. So anything you guys like to discuss in the next meeting, please email to Jessica, which will be able to be sent out. And any other business that deems necessary for discussion. Nothing?
Nothing. I think we're good.
Excellent.
All right, so I think we need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in
Who
favor?
seconded that?
Patrick.
All right.
All right, be safe, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you.
All right.
Good night, guys.
Night.
Thanks, Jess.
Thanks for all your
Thank
help.
you. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, everybody.